It is time to stop a losing streak for the Philadelphia Phillies. This will be the last time they see South Beach until right before the All-Star break. Tonight it is the final game of this three-game series between the Phils and the Miami Marlins. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with John Kruk. We'll hear from Greg Murphy in just a little while. All right, so the Phillies hope to get a win from Jake Arrieta in Game 1. Thought they had a win last night with Zach Eflin, and now they need a win from Aaron Nola.
Yeah, you don't want to say a game in early May is a must-win, but you cannot get swept by this Miami Marlins team. And, you're throwing your best pitcher out there right now against him. His last start early was rough. 3 runs in the first inning, but then the ground balls and the strikeouts came a call, and that heavy sinker, the breaking ball, the changeup, he had them all working after that first inning. Kept the Atlanta Braves off the board, and the Phillies came back and won that game. And I think that was the last game we've won, but he was dynamite in that game, and that's what we need here tonight. We need Aaron Nola to be Aaron Nola. Keep the ball down, keep the infielders invested in the game, keep the ball out of the air, and we got a shot.
Well, he is one of the top pitchers as far as ground ball percentage in all of Major League Baseball. Now, last 3 starts here in Miami, it has not gone all that well, but it is a little different lineup that he is facing tonight in this final game of the 3-game series. All right, so while the Phillies have been losing, the Marlins have been winning. It's their longest winning streak of the season.
Yeah, I talked to Todd Hollingsworth, the TV announcer, and he said, they don't blow teams out, but if they keep it close, they feel with their veteran lineup, they've got a shot. And that's what they're doing. But you can only do that if your pitching's great, and their pitching has been fantastic. Bullpen has been great. The starting pitching has been great. And the last start for Jose Urena, who hasn't won a game yet this year, was his best start of the year. 7 innings. He only gave up 1 run. He has a power fastball. He has a slider. He has a changeup. He'll throw any pitch at any time. These Phillies hitters better get on him and get on him early. And if they do, perhaps he will think to himself, I haven't won a game, and I might not win this one either. This is a game that the Phillies have to have.
1 for 10 last night with runners in scoring position. They need to be better in those situations tonight against the Marlins. It is the final game of this 3-game series. It will be Nola looking for his 4th win. Urena looking for his 1st for the Marlins. Lineups at first pitch when we return to South Florida. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net. By Toyota. The summer starts here at Toyota. Let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com. Phillies look to finish off this series and get a victory against the Miami Marlins. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net. Well, one of the changes is Pedro Flormon is going to bat 7th tonight and play shortstop, and that's because of Scott Kingery taking that ball on his bicep last night, or around the bicep last night. So he's hoping it's only a day-to-day thing, and he could be available tonight to pinch hit, but they're going to be careful with him. They'll face right-hander Jose Urena, who they have seen before. He's 1-2 lifetime against the Phillies. It's remarkable. He's 0-4. Part of that is because his team has only scored 16 runs in the games that he has pitched in. So he is getting a little shorted as far as the runs go, John. And I don't know, his ERA is kind of high, but it's getting better.
Yeah, he's got good stuff, though. And if he puts it together like he did his last start against Colorado, you know, Colorado's an offensive juggernaut. Had 7 innings, only 1 run in that game, still couldn't get a win. I mean, I know it's a tough league, but it shouldn't be that tough.
Should not be that tough. Well, he is ready to go, and so is Cesar Hernandez, who's leading things off. Cesar in last night's ball game was 1 for 5. He's 2 for 9 in the series so far. We'll go over some of the Phillies' numbers in this series. One of the big things is, you know, during this stretch of 8 games in which the Phils are 2-6, they're hitting only .206 with runners in scoring position.
That was a problem last year, and it's starting to rear its ugly head now. At not a great time.
Cesar takes the first pitch, fastball for a strike. We're underway, and it's no balls in 1 strike. Cesar overall hitting .279, couple home runs, 10 runs batted in. Upstairs, 1-1.
There you say it. You know, he's going to set in the mid-90s. Is Urena, and you got to make him throw the ball in the strike zone, and when he does, you got to make him pay for it.
And it's kind of a free and easy mid-90s. You know, nothing is. You know, we saw last week Robbie Ray grunting.
Yeah,
there's no grunting at all. No. It's free and easy.
And you know, I don't know how to say this and be politically correct, but he kind of has like Pedro Martinez on his changeup, that floppy wrist that.
That one's hit well. Brinson going back toward the wall. It is gone. It slips just inside the bushes, and Cesar Hernandez has put the Phillies on the board with a home run here in the top of the 1st inning. Well, that didn't take long.
Well, they matched their output from yesterday. Again, you know, you're throwing mid-90s, but when you miss location that badly, especially if you miss opposite of where you're trying to throw it. He's trying to throw that pitch away. It stayed middle in. Beautiful swing by Cesar, get us on the board. 5
career leadoff home runs. He had 3 last year, as Rhys Hoskins fouls that one up the third base line.
Have you noticed Rhys is attacking that first pitch a little more often?
No, you think that's because he's struggling a little bit?
I think so, yeah. You know, you're trying to get the first good pitch you think you have and take a swing at it.
There's a strike, and it's 0-2. By the way, Cesar has 5 leadoff home runs. He's not necessarily a home run hitter. The record for leadoff home runs is 81 by Ricky Henderson, which is amazing in its own right. Thank goodness that net was there.
Love Ricky Henderson. Funny man.
Yeah, and he was different when it came to being a leadoff hitter. Swing and a miss. And one away. Well, our longest on base streaks, Odubel Herrera has reached base safely in 31 straight. That's our Nissan upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. Since 2005, Jimmy Rollins in the 05-06 carryover.
Wow, we
reached base safely 38 times.
We have a Darren Ruff sighting on there.
That's right. And Odubel's hit by a pitch.
Well, it's painful, but the streak continues. That got him right, and it looked like got him in the back of the knee.
Rhys Hoskins is barking at Urania right now. I tell you what, his command was so good. How about that? I mean, nailing Odubel Herrera in the final game of this series. I mean, Rhys was barking at him from the dugout. I don't know, John.
That's a bad miss. I know it can happen that you can miss that bad, but usually it's on the other side.
Yeah.
You let it go too early. Be interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
First of all, they've won the first 2 games. Why would you want to do something to incite the Phillies?
I don't know.
You got them laying down. You know, they're not laying down, but, you know, you got them beat the first 2 games. The last thing you want to do is incite them to, not that you're going to try harder, but, you know, sometimes your little focus can get a little better.
Aaron Altair, the hitter, and he takes on the inside corner 0-1.
You know, and you gotta. This is figuring time. If you're gonna have retribution, you got to figure out which one you're going to do it against.
Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. That was a slide step, and his mechanics were all off kilter.
Yeah, now that's a miss.
That's a miss.
But I mean, you throw a fastball. You know, if Odubel probably would have stepped forward a half inch, it would have went behind him.
2-1. Yeah, whether, I mean, I don't know. I think it was on purpose, but like you said, we'll see if there's any retribution by the Phils.
We could think it's on purpose all we want. If those guys in the dugout down there think it is, and see what happens.
Well, you mentioned it last night. I mean, there are times when Odubel, who's on the other team.
Yeah, but you beat him the first 2 games.
I totally agree with you.
You know.
Totally agree. Bouncing ball to third. Prado goes to second for 1. And a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. The Phils do strike with a leadoff home run by Cesar Hernandez. Bottom of the first, Phils 1, Marlins nothing. Take a look at the Marlins lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider according to speedtest.net. Well, changes for the Marlins. It includes Justin Bour. He's back in there batting cleanup. Brian Anderson's had a good series, though, 4 for 8 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. They'll face Aaron Nola, who is 3-1 on the year, an earned run average of 2.58, 28 strikeouts in 38 and a third innings of work.
Well, we get Starlin Castro out of the lineup.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him out.
Not so sad about it, if you really want to know.
I'm with you on that one.
Seems to hit the Phillies pretty well. Here you see the scouting report on Aaron. Fastball around 91, 92, change, curve, and not very good numbers against the Fighting Fish down here.
Now 2-3 with a 4.57 overall against the Marlins and a 5.32 ERA here. And the first pitch to Maben. And a fastball just off the outer edge. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1. Aaron has won his last 2 games. He's allowed 5 earned runs in 14 innings. The opposition is hitting .201 against him, which is among the top 20 in baseball. There's a strike again. The other thing too is that the slugging percentage against Nola, and the staff looks at that. That's a big time number because it's the power numbers. Slugging percentage is 7th best in baseball. Ground ball left side. Maven's retired.
You know, here's the thing we have to watch for. Let's say they think they hit Odubel on purpose, and let's say there's retaliation. Neither bench was worn, but we've seen it before where if Aaron hits someone, or will the umpire eject him or will he warn both teams after that? We've seen it before where it seems like it's always the second guy that gets run.
You're right.
So I'm sure that's a concern with Gabe Kapler and the Phillies staff down there.
At the knees to Prado. Prado is hitting .188. No home runs, 2 runs batted in, but he is always dangerous, as we've mentioned. He was 0 for 4 last night, 1 for 8 in the series. And he whacks that curveball, and it's 1-2.
And sometimes just the thought of maybe I'm getting hit gives you a little bit of hesitation. So, this could be one of those things where Aaron might be able to run this thing for a few innings. I mean, you saw Maben, 2 fastballs right down the middle, and he took them.
Base hit into center field for Martine Prado.
So much for that theory.
Yeah. Tonight's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. Curveball high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to JT Realmuto, who's batted leadoff the first 2 games of this series, hitting .348 with 4 home runs and 8 runs batted in. Good breaking ball.
It's the first one he's thrown, isn't it?
I think it threw 1 to Prado.
Threw 1 to
Fouled
Prado.
it off his foot. Phillies set up to try to turn 2. Change up hit toward third, off the glove of Franco. And everybody is safe. So that puts runners on first and second with 1 out. And it brings Justin Bour to the plate. Well, we've grown so used to Mike Helt making these plays. That wasn't an easy play because of the second hop.
Yeah, that thing got on him quick too. Realmuto hit that one on the screws, and yeah, he's normally sure-handed, and just looked like it hit off his wrist.
So it is a base hit. Back-to-back singles. And Justin Bour is coming up. Don Mattingly said after last night's game that he and Bour talked about whether he was going to start yesterday. And Don said, listen, I'm kind of old school. If somebody is out for a little bit and says that they feel better on a particular day, I usually err on giving them an extra day. But he did play last night, and he had an impact.
Yes, he did. Zach Eflin was just cruising along, and And the big man showed up to pinch hit. It was a long one to put him on the board, tie the game.
Fastball, and it's 1-1. So they were both on the same page that he was good to go. I think James Hoy may have gotten hit with that. See the series numbers. Neither team is lighting it up with runners in scoring position. Although the Marlins have been a little better than the Phils. Phils just 2 for 16.
Eesh.
And a liner out to right field. Aaron Altair is there. He was really battling either the lights or the ribbon board. I don't know. It was one or the other because he was concentrating.
Yeah, it's a scary feeling, man. That ball was hit right on the screws by Bohr. Aaron goes over there. You can see he's struggling with the lights because he's not attacking the ball. You can see it, and it's just a late backhand, but hey, came up with it. Now they got to get a 2-out hit.
And it's Brian Anderson. Anderson hitting .264. Curveball in there, 0-1. That almost looked like a slider the way it broke. It's a curveball, but it almost looked like a slider the way it broke.
Yeah, at only 79 miles an hour.
Nah, it looked more like a curveball from that shot. It had some good movement on it, though.
Yes, it did. Tight.
Throw it again. He does. This time he lays off. Fastball fouled. Yeah, this will be the 21st pitch coming up.
That ain't a good thing.
One thing that Aaron Nola has been able to do, and he did it in his last start. In fact, Ben Harris wrote about this. He said that 2/3 of the 21 outs that Aaron Nola recorded came in the first 3 pitches of the at-bat. That's making some short work of the Atlanta Braves. Curveball swung on and missed, and he's got his first strikeout. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We have played 1. We'll go to the second. 1-0 Phils. Aaron Nola had to work a little harder to get through it, but he did with that curveball. Last chance to get your dollar dog of the season. May 8th when the Phillies take on the San Francisco Giants. That's a 7:05 first pitch. It's a Hatfield Phillies Frank dollar dog night. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. A little bark in the park tonight. That's a lucky dog getting some pizza.
No kidding.
A good looking dog too. John, if you had a dog, I would think you'd get a dog like that.
No.
No?
I got a dog. Laziest dog in the world.
Here's Santana, who takes outside. It's 1-0. What, it just lays around all day?
Yellow lab. Won't chase an animal. Won't go near water.
Right.
Like they're water dogs. They're hunting dogs.
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Get nothing.
Do you ever want it to go out hunting for something? Well,
no, but I mean, you know, I take him out and he's going to the bathroom and 2 rabbits are staring at him 5 feet away. And when he gets done, he just walks right between them and goes in the house. There's some issues.
Very friendly dog. Likes all animals. That ball is smashed deep to center field. Brinson is back. He's going to have room. And he'll make the catch. I guess that was a little higher than Cesar's. That's why it stayed in the yard. And here's Maikel Franco. Franco with 4 home runs, 22 runs batted in. I
wonder if Franco told Real Muto, hey, easy now down there.
Over to third, Prado. Just try to pay back Prado on it. That one wasn't hit with the same kind of bounces. So 2 outs. And Pedro Florimon will be the hitter. Florimon hitting 200. No home runs, no RBIs. He has 1 extra base hit. It was a double. Back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Scott Kingery has a wrap on his arm, the arm that was hit last night. And I think everybody was in agreement that he was lucky.
Yes.
Because it hit some of the meaty part of the arm. That one's down the left field line. That's going to be in for a base hit. And Florimon is going to get second easily. So he's there with a stand-up double.
Here's where Alfaro has to be patiently aggressive.
Last night, here's Scott Kingery. It just didn't sound good.
No.
But hit just above the elbow.
Just above that bone.
They're going to walk Alfaro intentionally. He has been swinging the bat well in this series. Although, I guess I'm still a little surprised. It's only the second inning.
I know.
That's also a sign of respect for Nola to a certain extent.
Good time for his first one.
Bouncing ball right back to the mound. Urania throws it high, and it goes off the glove of Bohr. Florimon will score, and so will Alfaro will stay at third, and it's 2-0 Phils. How about that? I mean, he didn't hot dog it. He just floated it.
No, he looked like he was going to throw it 100 miles an hour over the board right there, and then he just nope. And he just airmails it.
And the other thing too is that Bohr did not have his footwork where he could even leap to make that catch.
Well,
look, he wouldn't have caught that anyway.
I know, but that's what I always tell kids: don't assume a good throw.
And I think that's what he did.
Assume the worst.
E1, a run is home, and now Cesar with a base hit can make this a 4-0 game, or maybe 3, and Aaron goes to third.
No, you're going to get a good jump. Hit it in a gap, you don't have to worry.
Now towards center field, and Brinson is there, and the inning is over. But the Phils get an unearned run. We go to the bottom of the second. Phillies 2 and the Marlins nothing. Rojas will lead it off. It'll be Rojas, Brinson, and Rivera. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, as you guys mentioned, Aaron Nola has been very good this season, that we know. He is among the leaders in first pitch strikes thrown. He is third in the league in fewest pitches thrown per inning. Now, if you look at his numbers going back to last year, the last 18 games of last year, Aaron Nola was very good. He had an ERA of about 3 through those games, and he had about 7.6 strikeouts per game. Now you look at his numbers for what he's done the first 6 games this year, ERA even better, and a lot fewer strikeouts, 4.6. So you say to yourself, well, is that an issue? Well, if you stop to think about it, and Gabe Kapler talked about this a little bit, they think that's actually the beginning of, or the continuation, I should say, of the maturation of Aaron Nola. As he continues to learn how to pitch in this league, you see what he's able to do, using attacking hitters differently at different points during the game for pitch efficiency. So not always going for a strikeout, and using, pitching to contact and doing other things to keep that pitch count low, to keep those pitches per innings low, and only going for those strikeouts when he needs them in the game. So it's interesting to watch him as he continues to grow as a major league pitcher. He had success at the end of last year doing it one way, by having success this year doing it a little bit differently.
Yeah, he and I were talking in the hotel today, and we were talking about just the ground ball rate, because I told him, I said it's 13th now in baseball, in all of Major League Baseball, not just the National League. And he is pitching to contact more, and that is I think it's huge for him to do that.
Well, you saw it when he got in trouble last inning. What did he do? His best fastball was when he got in trouble.
Right.
Other than that, he's pitching for location and movement. See, 92. Now he threw a 96 to Anderson in that at bat after 2 breaking balls.
And I think he went for the strikeout with Anderson with that curve.
Yep.
1 ball and no strikes to Miguel Rojas as we start the home second. Back toward the middle and past Cesar. Third hit for the Marlins. And that will bring Brinson up. Brinson hitting 163. Brinson taking a long look down at Freddie Gonzalez in the third base coach's box.
You wouldn't think anything would be on right now. It may be a hit and run, but you got the 8th and 9th hitters coming up.
Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Marlins are averaging 4.5 runs per game, which is 17th in baseball. Their batting average, their overall team batting average, is .227, which is 28th. And again, a ball, 2-0. Fly ball right field. It's not deep. Long run for Altair. Hustling, so is Cesar. And it drops in foul territory. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Had a long run for 3 of them.
Yeah. Carlos was losing the race.
Well, tough to keep up with those other 2.
Off the hands, off the front of the Marlins dugout. Phillies begin play tonight, 2 games out in the National League East. The Braves are only a half game behind the Mets. They got a great outing last night from their 20-year-old rookie. Let's see the standings. Mets are 17-10. Braves are 17-11. How about that? They have a 20-year-old rookie starting pitcher now, a 20-year-old starting left fielder, and a 21-year-old second baseman, and a 24-year-old shortstop.
So what you're saying is, future's all right?
It seems like it is. 3-2. Phillies got a great outing last night from the guy in the middle right there, Zach Eflin. 72 pitches, 6 strong innings, allowed just the 1 run. You know, Rojas spun a little bit as he dove, and that made the tag a little easier.
Yeah, he's leaning too. Looks like he's holding on to his side.
Yeah, he went in kind of awkward. Gabe Kapler's asking everybody to hold for a moment. They're going to take a look at it. How about that? Well, they won one of these last night on a pickoff. Yep, he's out.
Yeah, he is.
His hand did not get to the bag when the tag was applied.
Well, if they overrule it, his side's going to be hurting a lot more.
Carlos is explaining to him where he should run if he's out. Just go over there and.
Yeah. Well, they've had a few picked off, haven't they? Didn't they have one yesterday?
Had one yesterday, yep. Jeff Kellogg's to the right. Quinn Wolcott, who is the youngest umpire in baseball, is to the left. In fact, the umpiring crew has a 28-year-old in Wolcott and a 30-year-old in Rioch, who's the third base umpire.
So this is the Atlanta Braves of the
young umpires.
Umpiring crews.
Here we go. And he is out at first base. Well, the production layer comes through again down into the stadium. And there's one away. See, this is probably the clearest. Look, the hand is not at the bag and the tag is made.
That one jab step towards second cost him.
And now it's 3-2 to Rojas. Outside, ball 4. So the first walk issued by Nola.
Not sure I agree with that pitch.
Throwing the breaking ball there.
Yeah. Yeah, look, if he throws a good one, he probably gets a swing and miss, but the guy's hitting 163. And Aaron can spot his fastball good enough to put it somewhere where he probably isn't looking.
And why not try it again?
Yeah, why not?
Yadiel Rivera was the hero last night, celebrating his birthday. And a first pitch fastball. Boy, that was awfully close. Take a look at our pitch cast presented by PJ Wheelhands.
Nope.
That's there. It's 1-1. One ball, one strike. Princeton does not have that big of a lead. Not really as sharp with his location tonight. Changeup, and it's 2-2. Ball had some really nice movement on it.
Yeah, it did. Nice pitch by Aaron. The head behind in the count, or the hitter was ahead in the count. 2-1. You throw him a nice changeup, swing through. You see if you can get this fastball in on his knuckles.
Guy must have went on a memorabilia site, saw Mr. T, and got some of his jewelry. Bouncing ball foul. Urania on deck. Guy behind him walks with his body leaned forward. I mean, that's a big chain there, John.
Yes, it is. Is there any history between Urania and Odubel?
You know, I was thinking about that. I don't remember if there is.
I don't recall last year anything.
Brinson goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Throw to second base is right there. It's a strikeout, throw-out, double play. That's the best throw of the year from Jorge Alfaro. Now the side is retired. No runs, one hit, nobody left. On to the third. Phil's up 2-0. The fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, what Phillies pitcher did Martine Prado hit his first major league home run off in 2006? This guy had a great career.
I might know.
Did give up a lot of home runs in his career.
I think I know.
Okay, that's all I'm going to give you. Prado over third base now in his 13th season. Urania goes back to work against Hoskins. Hoskins struck out his first time up.
A Phillies pitcher.
Phillies pitcher, yep.
Oh, Lordy. Well, let's see what happens here after the little yelling.
Fastball, and it's 0-1. Oh, and 2 slider. Urania is at 30 pitches as we begin this third inning. He's 2 pitches in. He has not thrown 100 pitches since the 3rd of April against Boston. And he just got Hoskins with a second strikeout of the night. By the way, after the Giants and the Phils have a 4-game series beginning next Monday, the New York Mets are in town. The 11th, 12th, and 13th. The 11th, 7:05. The 12th, also 7:05. And then Sunday, the 13th, is Hers Mother's Appreciation Day. A free ladies pullover to women 15 and older. You can see the pullover right there. Go to Phillies.com to check out the pullover and to purchase your tickets. One ball and one strike. Odubel hit by Urania in his first at bat. 2-1. Altair on deck. Bouncing ball back to the right side, and it's picked up by Rivera. 2 outs, and it brings Aaron Altair to the plate.
Yeah, two pretty uncomfortable looking at bats by Hoskins and Odubel there.
You know, Urania's got some movement. I mean, he's got some life on his fastball. Here's Altair, who hit into a 5-4-3 double play. His first time up. No balls and 1 strike. Bouncing ball up the third baseline, foul. There's a line drive, base hit back through the middle. Altair really is swinging the bat well.
Had 2 balls right there. I mean, his first at bat, that at bat, 2 balls off the screws.
Santana hit one right on the nose his first time up. Hit it out to the warning track in center field. Took a little off that pitch, and it's 0-1. Marlins starters this series, 10 innings and 11 hits coming in with 5 earned runs. Their bullpen has been stellar. The Phillies bullpen has been really good too.
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything off their bullpen, have we?
Nope, 8 innings, no runs so far. JT Realmuto got this right square in the mask. Down the right field line, foul, and into and off the Raptors. I don't think I've ever seen any ball hit at the Raptors here.
I haven't either. Well, the launch angle's good, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
Now we just have to keep it fair.
Little 96 toward the outside part of the plate, 1-2. See if they put Altair in motion here. Nope. Popped foul over the dugout. There's Mike Kell in the on-deck circle. Bouncing ball toward first and backhanded by Bohr. 3 unassisted, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Middle of the third. It's the Phillies 2 and the Marlins nothing. Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Out of the third, Aaron Nola will face Jose Urena. And a first pitch fastball, and it's 0-1. One for 9 on the year. Bouncing ball back toward the mound. And a crisp throw over to first. 1 out. Hey, Sixers fans, you can win tickets to Game 4. Head over to NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com/AuthenticFan to enter for your chance to win free tickets and a VIP tour of NBC Sports Philadelphia. Phillies have had some very good support from their fans here in South Florida. Cameron Maybin grounded out his first time to the plate. Popped it up. That'll be out of play. 0-1. Nice to get a fast inning here if you're Nola.
Yeah, that's that's why we talk between innings about Urena leading off. Do you retaliate? Leadoff hitter, easy out. You got to take your out. If they think he did it on purpose, there'll be some time to get someone.
So that's your thought, maybe later on?
Possibly. I mean, different pitchers have different theories. I know Terry Mulholland was, if you hit whatever position you hit, that's a position I was going to hit. So.
Line drive to center field. Odubel comes in, makes the catch. He got a good read on it. Yeah, there are 2 outs. That's interesting, John. You know, some people say if you hit our star, we'll hit your star.
Yeah, that's another way to go.
Some guys just hit the next guy they see.
Yes, some hit the first guy up after that just to say, okay, we know what you did, and we're not gonna, we're not gonna stand for it.
Prado lines it out to right field. Altair is there. Well, that is a very efficient 3rd inning for Aaron Nola. He's right on target now. Just 42 pitches through 3 innings. We'll go to the 4th. This is from Pat Neshek on Gabe Kapler. It's not like he lost the clubhouse. That didn't happen, but there was just so much confusion and there was anger. Nobody knew what was going on. A lot of guys were questioning him, like, is this how it's going to be all year? Now, that's part of a story that Bob Nightingale wrote that was in today's USA Today. And it was a story about the first 3 games of the season in Atlanta, which included lifting Nola after 68 pitches and losing to the Braves 15-2 and signaling to the bullpen when there was nobody warming up, stuff like that. In that story, Bob depicts the moment that Neshek and Gabe Kapler had a meeting in New York as one of the older members of the ball club, even though he's on the DL. Neshek felt it was time to, sort of talk about what happened in Atlanta. And both men have said it was a very productive meeting.
Well, you wouldn't think it'd be any other way with Gabe, would you?
No, you would hope it would be.
I said it earlier. Everyone was confused. I mean, people around baseball were confused. But it has gotten a little more stable.
1-1 pitch to Franco, bounced up to 3rd, and that's foul. And it's 1-2.
I think we understand now that if the Phillies have a lead in the 9th, Hector's going to be the guy. He's going to mix and match with Luis Garcia and Adam Morgan in the 7th and 8th, depending on who's coming up at that particular time in the batting order.
But one thing that Pat did say, and I think a lot of people around baseball thought this too, is that those first 3 games seemed like they were being run as if it was a playoff game, where the first sign of trouble, boom, we're going to get the pitcher out and go with somebody else. And that has changed.
Yes.
I think a lot of people looked at last night and thought, well, why did Eflin only go 72 pitches? Well, that was more about the offense last night. That was a necessity to try to find some offense. Zach was pitching really well.
Yeah, that young man has to be very happy with his performance last night, even though he got a no decision. I just don't like things being public like that. You know.
Do you think it's better to keep in the clubhouse?
Yeah, what happens here stays here, right?
Fly ball out to right center field. Anderson will run it down. Yeah, I can see what you're saying, because we've gone a month since that meeting and nobody knew outside the clubhouse that it happens.
Yeah, but also, you know, if you're Gabe Kapler now, are you thinking, all right, well, who's mad at me? You know, how do I know? They haven't come forward. Well, publicly or privately.
Yeah, and the rest of the article, as it went on, did talk about, you know, how Gabe is adjusted and how good he is to play for. So, you know, maybe it was sort of a growth. 0-1 to Florimon, who doubled his first time up, and 0-2.
I mean, you know, I don't know if you're going to find a more positive human being than Gabe Kapler.
I don't think you will.
And, you know, you wonder if sometimes he goes back to his room after game and, you know, talks to his wall and airs it out up there. Some of the frustrations that you see from this team.
Fouled again. That one's hit sharply foul. One out here in the top of the fourth. And Florimon battling here.
See that, how he does that? He steps out and he swings right-handed.
I saw that the other night.
Practice swing.
I saw that the other night.
Ah, those switch hitters.
Back toward the middle and
what
a base hit.
an
That is a heck of an at-bat from Florimon. And he is now 2 for 2.
Just short and easy. Put it in play. No overswing. Hit it where it came from. Arena falls off the mound, so he's not in fielding position. Now see if he can't grab. Well, you don't want to steal now because we've already seen they're going to walk Alfaro.
Alfaro was intentionally walked his first time up. And 2.
Be interesting to have a chance to speak with Odubel and find out if there's any history with him and Urania, because he didn't look real happy.
No, I don't remember if there was anything before. Popped him up. And that'll be out of play. What you alluded to, though, I mean, that could be part of it. You know, the Phillies have made comments about the fact that they shouldn't have lost the first 2 games to this kind of team. And I thought Gabe quieted that a little bit today when he met with the media, saying that, you know, it doesn't matter. It's a major league team. You have respect for them anytime they put on a uniform, which I agree with.
Wholeheartedly.
I don't think you can ever think you're going to walk over somebody because of what their perceived ability is. So Odubel is the most colorful player the Phillies have. And what I mean by that is he points to pitches that he thinks are outside. And there have been instances before where other teams have, you know, thrown at him because of his antics. So they may have just chosen him.
Yeah, maybe. You know. I still think there at some point this year we got to mark this down. May what, 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
May 3rd, whatever it is.
Today's May 2nd.
May 2nd, mark it down and see about later on in the year if there's an incident, and you'll know why.
Swing and a miss. Alfaro strikes out. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Urania. Facilities products delivered the very same day. That's right. WB Mason delivers all of the brands you need to keep your facility running, like Scott products that deliver superior value and an optimum balance of quality and affordability, all delivered for free by who? Who but WB Mason. Aaron reached on an error his first time up. Bouncing ball to 3rd. And Prado across the diamond in time with a clean throw. No runs, a hit, and 1 man left. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning. Real Muto will lead it off when we get back.
Some fighting Philly fans.
That's right. All on the first base side. There are a ton of them. Those folks are on the 3rd base side. Roof is closed here in South Florida. They've tried to keep it open for all 3 games, so they say. But there's been rain forecasted each night. Tonight they have the panels open in left field. Here they are. They were open in game number 1. They were closed in yesterday's game.
Were they closed before the game or during the game?
What, yesterday?
Yeah. Weren't those panels open yesterday?
They were open before the game. They closed during the game. But that was the hope, is that they would play a lot more games when this facility was built in April and even May with the roof open, and even September. The previous ownership, though, had it closed most of the year. There was only a half dozen or so games that were played with the roof open. But Derek Jeter has made some adjustments, as everybody knows, since he took over. The most recent one is that he's said no more orange jerseys. We can maybe wear them once or twice a year, but that's it.
Apparently he's not a fan.
Not a fan.
Well, he just had a baby, right? His wife just had a baby.
He did, yeah.
Then Halloween rolls around. He might get used to orange. Her first Halloween.
Here's Real Muto. Takes a curve outside, 1-0. I think you'd have to get used to orange.
It's amazing the things you change when you have children.
Change up, and it's 1-1. But he really does have a good change up.
Well, he's got a good everything, and that's what you love about him, and that's why he's our top one of our, one of our aces, along with Arrieta.
That's why when the notes come out and you look at the hard hit percentage against Nola, as that ball is hit in the air to center field, not hit hard, and playable for Odubel Herrera, and it makes the catch one away. The opposition has hard contact less than any other starter when it comes to Aaron Nola. I mean, that's pretty cool that he's able to miss the barrel better than any other starter in the National League.
And he can add and subtract with his fastball. Both of them, whether he throws it at 94 to 96 or 91 to 92, it still has run. I mean, you saw a breaking ball you thought for sure was a slider.
It had such good movement on the angle too.
Yeah, so he can throw his breaking ball different ways, and that changeup has great movement.
A 1 pitch coming to Bohr. Change up, 0-2. And a fastball, strike 3 called. Well, that was just a confusing at bat for Justin Bohr. Streaks were made to be broken. Make history and win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today. Have you downloaded it yet, John?
What?
Beat the Streak?
No, I keep forgetting.
Did you have your son do it?
Well, I will when I get home.
31 was the highest last time we looked.
Look at Santa Claus, huh?
Making people happy everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
I think he's wearing the wrong colors, though.
Well, it's South Florida. You got to fit in.
That is a secondary color for the Marlins. Although they are celebrating their 25th anniversary, and you can see the sign behind Anderson. That was the dominant color for the Marlins when they first started playing.
I love that color.
Helmets and all.
Yeah. Like they'd wear white pants with that teal shirt. Pretty. Still can't get the stump the fan thing.
1 ball and 1 strike. Inside 2-1. Well, I told you he gave up a lot of home runs in his career.
Well, that's why I thought it might have been Schill.
Nope.
2000 what? 6?
2006. I think you just have to think about who's given up a lot of home runs in their career. This guy may even text you if he knows he's the answer. I think. Swing and a miss. And that's it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nola, who seems to have found a rhythm. 4 strikeouts overall. We'll move on to the 5th and a 2-0 Phillies lead. 4 Hatfield hot dogs and 4 Cokes for only $100. Available on select weekend dates. Visit Phillies.com to get your family pack now. To the 5th inning we go, and Cesar takes a strike. It's 0-1. Hey, how about the news coming out of New York right now? Jacob deGrom has been lifted from the ball game after 4 innings with an apparent injury.
I hope it's nothing serious.
Grounded to first. Bohr will take it to the bag. One away. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Well, T-Mobile, they are built for baseball, and, well, guess what? So is that guy right there, the green one in the middle, the Philly fanatic, on a road trip of his own. He is in Japan right now and, well, hanging out with the umpires, doing his thing, because it works anywhere in the world. The Tokyo Yakult Swallows are his hosts for the next 2 days as he gets to see the sights and sounds all around Japan. And you can imagine, as we know, his works worldwide. So he is having a good time, I'm sure, and the fans are as well. You know, the Swallows are the team that Charlie Manuel played for. They won a championship back in '78 with Chuck, and he had 39 home runs that year.
Yeah, that's right. I was following all the moves of the fanatic on Instagram, and it seemed like he was a rather big hit over in Japan.
I am sure he is. I only hope that he pulled out the streaking routine, because
I did not see that, Murph.
No,
I didn't see that.
I was really hoping he'd do that.
The whole umpire thing, it just never gets old. And he was trying to, you know, he always makes fun of sometimes the visiting manager when the visiting manager walks out. And I think he would have preferred if the visiting manager had a little belly to him. It would have been he would have been able to make fun of him a little bit more. But he was still funny trying to follow him out there. Swing and a miss, 2-2 to Hoskins, who is 1 for his last 17. Yeah, he did the old umpire shtick where he sat there with the umpires with his arm crossed and rocked back and forth. Another one hit foul. Send some guys scattering.
I think that was Starlin Castro down there that moved. Yep. Still looks like a kid, doesn't he?
He does.
I think that's all you need to know about Reese's timing.
Jumping out.
Well, I mean, his first at bat, he rifled one in their bullpen and the netting above the bullpen, and he just did it there this at bat, and then he hits another one that far foul. Yeah.
Swing and a miss. 3 strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. And that's 4 strikeouts overall for Urena. So John now 1 for his last 18 with 9 strikeouts.
It looked like a slider by Urena right there. You saw the spin on the ball, the little red dot. And now with Reese out of the batter's box, he can go back to his seat.
It's rather comfortable sitting over there. Odubel hits one in the air to center field. And Brinson will make the one-handed grab. 5 in a row retired by Urena. We'll move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Aaron Nola back to work with a 2-run lead. Lehigh Valley defeated Syracuse 8-6. They're down 5-0. Dylan Cousins, 3 home runs and 4 runs batted in. Reading defeated New Hampshire. Zach Green had 2 hits, and both were home runs. Derek Hall hit his 9th home run. He had 3 RBIs. So Cousins has 6. That leads the International League. Hall has 9. That leads the Florida State League. I listened to that Lehigh Valley game today in its entirety, and it was Kids Day. Well, my son was calling the game, so I wanted to. It was one of the first times I got a chance to hear him hear him do some play-by-play with Matt Province.
Did you text him in between innings? Say, what are you doing?
Why did you say that? I texted him at the end of the game, toward the end of the game.
So you're not a meddling father?
I try not to be a meddling father. I just meddle in everything else.
Toward the end of the game, or after the game was over?
Toward the end of the game.
So the game was still going on, and you interrupted your son at his work.
In between innings. Told him that he and Matt did a nice job calling that game. Great crowd.
Oh, so you were complimentary.
Very complimentary. Very complimentary. Crowd sounded awesome. 2-1 to Rojas. Said he did a nice job on all 5 of those home runs that were hit today. He said, I didn't call any of them. I said, well, I was just trying to be nice. Matt did a nice job on all 5 of the home runs.
So what you're trying to say is your Father of the Year trophy probably isn't going to be on your mantle this year. We might have to give that one to someone else. Fransky.
Give it to Scott.
Yeah.
He also had his son involved in a broadcast the other day.
Oh, he interviewed Gabe, right?
Yeah. Gus interviewed Gabe.
And what did he come away with?
Well, Gus asked Gabe, because Gus was at work, because it was take your child to work day. And Gus asked Gabe if he ever skipped school for a baseball game when he was a kid.
I think we all have, haven't we?
I think we all have. Gabe admitted that he skipped school for some other things. Just missed.
But Scott was telling us after the interview what his son Gus walked away with was he has a keyboard for his iPad.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing.
I want one of those.
Can I get a keyboard for my iPad? 3-2 pitch. And a liner out to left field. Hoskins will make the grab. And 1 out. And Lewis Brinson is coming up.
Is this Reese's first 3 strikeout game in his young career?
I could tell you that in a second. I do think he had one last year. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. But he's got a blind spot for that spot inside. Not saying that it's a strike, but it looks pretty close. Change up 2-1. This is the 4th time that Hoskins has struck out 3 times in a game this year.
Wow.
John. Three balls, 1 strike to Brinson. Bouncing ball to third. It's a foul ball.
Let's see what he does here.
I wonder if he throws his changeup here.
Well, he threw a slider the last time he had him 3-2 and walked him.
Went right into his kitchen with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
That might have hit him in the chest. If he didn't foul that off.
I don't know how his bat didn't break.
He didn't hit it hard enough.
Well, that's true. Goes with the changeup, and it's hit into the dugout. And it remains 3-2. Starlin Castro, I think, is going to roam again.
Yeah, he might want to move down there toward where Don Mattingly is.
Got him with a changeup. Through a back-to-back changeups, 5 strikeouts for Nola. Yadiel Rivera coming up. He provided the Toyota turning point in last night's ball game in extra innings.
Yeah, he sure did. After Maven hit the triple, you walk Rojas intentionally, and then Rivera with that line drive to right center field, and the celebration begins. That's our Toyota turning point of the game last night.
Rivera takes a breaking ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's amazing. That pitch looks like it's coming in, and when the hitter starts to swing, it looks like it just stops and drops.
You think, is it all release point, arm angle?
I just think I think it's a later break, and that's why guys don't see it well.
Like there. Back-to-back strikeouts and another 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Nola. He's retired 10 straight. He has 6 strikeouts tonight, and we'll go to the 6th inning. Bullish at the plate for the first month of the campaign. Through the first 24 games of the season, El Torito was 3rd in the NL in average, batting .341, and he had reached base safely in every game since September 27th of last year. In addition to his bat, Odubel's glove has been working as well, making plays behind his pitchers and saving runs. All aspects of his game are brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, the Fighting Faithful have watched Odubel get hit by a pitch tonight, ground out and fly out to center field. Phil's offense has been Cesar Hernandez with a solo home run. And then in the second inning, Pedro Florimon scoring on an error by the pitcher Urena, who goes back to work as we begin the sixth inning. Oh, it looks like Jacob deGrom has a hyperextended right elbow.
I guess it could be worse, huh?
I guess so.
Wonder how he did that. Like, isn't that something you have to be at, like, contact?
You know, I don't know. He did it, and they thought in the third inning is when he first felt it. And then he pitched in the fourth inning. At least it looks that way. And a line drive down the left field line, foul by Aaron Altair.
Boy, it's good to see Aaron putting some at-bats together.
It sure is. Oh, good pitch, and Altair strikes out. There's one away. 5 strikeouts for Urena. Time now for the Ram Truck Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, Johnny, here we go. What Phillies pitcher did Martine Prado hit his first major league home run off in 2006?
Well, when you said you were looking up my numbers against him, I think there's only one guy that played then that I played against, and that was Jamie Moyer.
Jamie Moyer is correct. Back on September 14, 2006.
I ain't gonna lie, I got some help.
You did?
Yeah, from a friend of yours, not so much a friend of mine.
Friend of mine, not so much a friend of yours.
Think about it.
Murph helping you? Nice going, Murph.
Yeah, you know. I knew that one, so I wanted my very good friend, John,
right,
who I shared a meal with tonight. I wanted him to get that right and feel good about himself for the flight.
Murph, cheaters never prosper. That's all I have to say.
That's not cheating. I can help him.
No.
Well, he didn't tell me. He just gave me initials.
Just gave him a hint.
Thought you were better than that.
Yeah, it's man, I don't know. What's that do? Does it keep your head down?
Maybe. Bouncing ball right side. 3-1 on the putout. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And that'll bring Michael Franco to the plate. He's grounded out and he's flied out. Was he mad at Michael Franco looking at Urena? Is that what it is? Or looking at Real Muto?
I don't know.
In the air to left field. Going back on it is Maben. He may have room. He jumps, and it's off the top of the wall. And Franco's on his way to second base, and he's there standing with a double.
Man, if that thing's over about 10 feet towards center field, that's the home run where that fence lowers.
Yep.
It hit the highest part of the fence. I think Mikel thought he got it too. Watching it, jogging, but you see where that thing hit, man. If that thing's just over another 8-10 feet, that's a. Now what? Floormont's got 2 hits.
He's doubled. He's also singled. And he hits that one sharply. Diving stop by Rivera and throws him out. That's a fine play. Phillies leave one in scoring position. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. Got some discussion going on with Franco and Prado. Health, call 800 Jeff now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. 2-0 Phillies on top of the Marlins, and Urania will bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he fouls the first pitch back, 0-1.
Interesting. Down 2-0, 6th inning.
Yeah, he's got 88 pitches. Well, I guess they feel like they can get another inning out of him.
Yes, he did.
Why he did it, I don't know.
Well, Franco was playing way back. Maybe he thought if he can get it.
Maybe.
On a hard down the third baseline, he'd have get a base hit. I don't know. Who can figure it?
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a strike 3 called. 7 strikeouts for Nola. He has struck out the last 3 hitters. And we go to the top of the order for Cameron Maybin. Phillies fans looking for a great deal with free swag? You got to check out the Authentic Fan ticket page and ticket package. Head over to Phillies.com/AuthenticFan right now to grab your tickets to the first Authentic Fan night on Tuesday, May 8th. You get a special deal on tickets, a free hat, plus VIP surprises. And did we mention it's Dollar Dog Night? One away, and here's Maybin. Outside 1-0.
Pretty electric in here.
I think this is the largest of the 3 crowds.
Yeah, and Aaron Nola's not giving anything to cheer about.
Out toward Odubel, and he had him played perfectly, which is ironic. Last night, that's how Odubel was lined up, and Cameron Maybin holding toward the 407 sign for a triple and scored the game-winning run. But as we've talked about, the Phillies use the spreadsheets and the charting so often that they are going to stay patient with it, and they did there. And Odubel was able to make the catch and barely had to move. 2 outs for Prado, who is 1 for 2. Change up, 0-1.
Doesn't walk a lot, huh?
No. I didn't realize it was exactly even.
I didn't either.
Fly ball left field. It's up there pretty good ways. Hoskins sprints after it. And another 1-2-3 inning. Aaron Nola's making a habit of it. That's 4 straight 1-2-3 innings. He's retired the last 13 hitters that he has faced as we go to the 7th. So far, he's got a 2-0 lead to work with, and he had a rough first inning, John, but has settled in and has thrown beautifully since.
Yeah, and has every pitch working. It seems like he can do it at any time in the count. Big strike him out, throw him out right there. Freezes Bohr with that 2-seamer coming back. The changeup right there for another strikeout. You know, when he has 3 pitches, all of them are working. He can throw them at any time in the count. These are the kind of performances you're going to get from Aaron Nola.
So Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Noah 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, retired 13 in a row. Urania has been good too. He's back out there. He's allowed 2 runs, 1 earned. And he will face Jorge Alfaro, and Alfaro lines the first pitch into left field. And it'll be a base hit. Maben had trouble getting it out of his glove, but Alfaro is going to hold up at first base.
That away, Jorge.
He's swinging the bat well.
Yeah, 1 a night. You know, a couple here and there, but like, you know, you're hitting whatever, you get 1 a night, it's good things are going to happen. But he is swinging it better.
See if Nola can get him over to second, and he bunts it foul.
Now we've seen this a lot where the first bunt attempt isn't successful and Gabe turns the pitchers out and lets them hit, right?
Sometimes, yeah. And he'll reverse it too. Let him hit first and then bunt. And he bunts it foul again. And it's 0-2.
Always something to keep your eye on here. Justin Bohr Urania came set, and Justin Bohr started running in before Urania even started to deliver the ball. And you could hear first base coach saying, you know, go. Now he just put on a sign. I don't know what that sign is, but.
And Nola lines it to right field. That'll be in for a base hit. They thought about throwing to first. Anderson did, but Aaron with a single to put runners on first and second. And the top of the order coming up. And nobody warming up in the Marlins bullpen.
92 pitches, no outs. Cesar has homered in this game. Man, has their bullpen been that taxed the last four or five games?
Only 3 innings yesterday. 5 innings the day before, but it was single innings for everybody except for Gonzalez. Now bullpen action. Tozawa warming up. Inside, 2-1.
Rojas broke in behind Alfaro at second base, and as soon as he started to break in behind, Urania pitched. The pitch is away. It's a little grounder to shortstop and score a run.
Threw him an off-speed pitch, and it evens now 2-2. Well, this may be his final batter. Although he's got Hoskins 3 times on strikes.
I wonder if Don Mattingly will keep him in for one more if he can't get Cesar.
Juan Nieves on the horn. Pickoff play is on. Practice from before didn't help. That one's hit sharply, knocked down by Bohr. He does go to second for 1. That's all they'll get. All right, so first and third on the fielder's choice. And Hoskins is coming up. Don Mattingly has not made a move. So he's going to let Urania face Hoskins for the 4th time. I wouldn't mind if Hoskins goes after a pitch early here like he's been doing.
Yeah, but he has to set his sights on right center. He hooking everything foul, hitting balls into the Marlins dugout and over the Marlins dugout. You got to set your sights hitting the ball the other way. That was a pitch to do it, but you can see it. You can just tell he's just a little quick.
Short lead for Cesar, and he draws the throw.
Make his 101st pitch. Make him pay for it.
He pulls it foul.
Yes, that's what I mean. He's just so far ahead of everything.
How'd you get yourself back when you did that with your leg kick?
Well, I tried to, like I said, I tried to set my right shoulder to left center field, and if I was ahead, I would, you know, if I was ahead of it, I pulled it, but it stayed fair. And if I was behind a little bit, I could still hit it down the left field line and try to keep it fair. You know, he's hitting some balls hard foul that way, and that's, you know, you hit the ball off the barrel, you only get a few times a game where that's going to happen.
Swing and a miss. First time in Reese's career that he has struck out 4 times in a game. Yeah, there are 2 outs in the 7th.
A little slider from Urania right there. Really good location. Good bite on it. Quick.
All right, let's see if Odubel can get a big 2-out base hit. Odubel is 0 for 2. He's reached base thanks to a hit by pitch. 32 consecutive games now. Bouncing ball foul. Fouls it back. It's 1-2. Well, as we said, this is only the 2nd time this year he has thrown more than 100 pitches in a game. But he's been good tonight. He has scattered 7 hits. Phillies are trying to provide a little knockout blow here with Odubel Herrera. Runner goes from first. The pitch foul down the left field line.
Yeah, I think if I'm Cesar, I'd get a little bigger lead, or maybe made one throw over there to first and casted it. Scored us a run. We'll see if he can. If he's reluctant to throw over to first.
I don't know.
Cesar doesn't get too big of a lead, does he?
No, and they have worked on that this year, and he has extended it this year. Broken bat, pop up, foul territory. Prado's there, and Urania's able to work out of it here in the 7th inning. No runs, 2 hits. And the Phillies lead 2. It's time to stretch with the Phils on top, 2-0. a respiratory night at the ballpark. All fans will receive that cap right there on your left-hand side. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets today. Jose Ureña's day is probably done. 7 innings, 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, 1 earned run. At 108 pitches. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning. Aaron Nola's day is not done yet. As he will face JT Realmuto and Justin Bour. And Realmuto shows bunt, and it's 1-0. Good curve. Be hard pressed to find somebody that throws a better one. There are guys that throw it. Guys don't use it as their ultimate weapon. Like him.
Yeah, 85 pitches too for Aaron. You wonder if this will be his last inning.
There's the 1-2 pitch coming to Realmuto. Boy, that just missed down low. Garcia is warming up in the pen just in case.
More noise in the bullpen than there is out everywhere else.
That popping is echoing. Off the plate. Florimon charges, has it, throws in time. 1 away. Every time a Phillies pitcher records a pitch of 95 miles per hour or more, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest internet in Philadelphia.
Nice to get the leadoff man before this guy comes up.
Starts him off with a get me over curveball. Up the first base line.
Stay
get it.
fair.
Yep, that's what Carlos did. He got it before it rolled foul. It would have hit the bag anyway. 3 unassisted, 2 outs. And here's Brian Anderson. Think about where Nola was after the first couple of innings, John. I mean, he was up over 30 pitches in the first 2 innings. Then the third, that's where things started to click for him. I think also the strikeout throw out double play helped him. Over toward the hole, backhanded by Florimon, throw over to first, dunk out by Santana, and the inning is over. 16 in a row retired by Aaron Nola. That's a fine play all the way around by the Phils. We'll go to the 8th inning with the Phils up by 2. local Del Val Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason? For fast, free delivery. Nobody does it better. Downtown Miami, just a few miles away. The Phillies are leading the Marlins 2-0. Time now for our Hyundai defensive play of the game. All right, John, this is a big play, I think.
Yeah, huge play. You get the strikeout of Rivera, and then with Brinson running, Alfaro throws a dart to Cesar right there. No chance for Brinson. And strike him out, throw him out to get Aaron Nola out of an inning. And that's our Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer, Tom.
That's right. Here's Chinichi Tazawa, who will take over for Orania. Tazawa's been part of this bullpen that's been very good in this series. Not good overall. And he'll face Altair as we start the 8th inning. And Altair is going to float one into right field for a base hit. All right, nice way to start the 8th inning.
Here's a guy got to get her rolling right now. I think if I'm Aaron, I'm holding right there. Carlos been rolling some balls over. Keep that hole open a little bit.
Real Muto blocks it. And now asks for time.
I think he got it caught in the.
I think he may have gotten it caught in the hand. Yeah. Yep. Right off the palm.
Yeah, if he tried to throw that one to first, that could have went anywhere. Been a pretty clean game. No mound visits from. I don't even know if the catchers have gone out.
Catchers have not gone out. Starters have been really good.
Yeah. I guess if the catcher did go out, that's a mound visit, right?
That would be it. Down the left field line, out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Santana. Well, I guess Real Muto's okay. Sometimes I always wonder, when a catcher takes a foul ball off the hand or something like that, do you just challenge him right away? But I guess you want to keep that hole open on the right side.
Yeah, but what if he's
Playing
trying
possum?
to trick you?
Out to left field. Maben has it played perfectly. And that'll be the first out here in the 8th inning. And Michael Franco coming in. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Time for our Coors Banquet timeless moment. May 2nd, 1943, the Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Schoolboy Rowe. He pinch hits with the bases loaded in the 6th inning and hits a grand slam off the Boston Braves' A.J. Javry. Break a tie. Phils win the game 6-5 in 12 innings. It's Rowe's 2nd career grand slam. He hit one back in 1939 too, you'll remember, while with Detroit. He's the only pitcher in Major League history to hit a grand slam in both leagues, American League, National League.
Linwood Thomas Schoolboy Rowe.
Just Schoolboy.
He was a big guy for that time, nearly 6'5", at 220 pounds. Won 158 games during his Major League career, but also hit 18 home runs. He had 63 extra base hits.
Schoolboy?
Schoolboy Row.
Was he called schoolboy because he enjoyed school?
Well, let's check that out.
He might be the only baseball player that did.
Outside to Franco. He received the nickname Schoolboy while playing on a men's team as a 15-year-old high school student. So there you go, John.
The internet's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Sure is. Fouled away. Like a lot of players, he missed a couple of years because of the war. But during the war, he played on a baseball team that included Bob Feller, Johnny Mize, Billy Herman. They were 48-2 while playing for this Navy team. Pulled toward third. That's a fair ball down the left field line. It'll be the second hit of the night for Maikel Franco. Altair's being waved home. Here's the throw to the plate. It is not in time. And Franco goes to third. It'll be an RBI double. 3-0 Phils. Boy, Dusty Wathan is aggressive over at third.
Yeah, you know, we've noticed it this whole series that Cameron Maben, I'm not saying he's lax getting over to get the balls, but he's cautious. Let's just say that.
That's
and
a good way of putting it.
Guess he didn't want it to get past him hitting the wall. I mean, Aaron's running. You see a little hesitation. He thought he was going to stop, but once Dusty Wathan said, come on, he turned it up to high gear. Nice little head first slide.
Yeah, Dusty was telling me yesterday that he has, you know, he has it in his head where different guys, different outfielders are, and what the potential is for those outfielders to make throws. See, Maben, you're right, John. I mean, he just awkwardly went after it.
Well, and again, a lot of times as an outfielder, you go over there, you don't know if it's going to bounce off the wall. And if you get too close to the wall, it hits the wall and it kicks past you.
1-0 pitch to Florimone. Fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, that's a gifted athlete right there, too. And you can see him kicking it into gear where you said there was that slight hesitation and then bam.
I'll have another. How about a 3-hit night for Pedro?
Be beautiful.
Yes, it would. Or a 2-hit night with a sac fly.
Just get the run home.
That's right.
Bouncing ball to the right side. Here comes Franco. He's going to score, and Bohr will take it to the bag. It's 4-0 Phils. So an RBI for Pedro Florimone.
Well, contact's a good thing.
Yes, sir.
Even with the infield end. Great lead, great secondary lead, and a great jump by Franco.
Well, now Alfaro is up. He's 1 for 2. At an outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 1 ball and 1 strike. Inside. Outside, 3-1.
Yeah, 2 outs. Nick Williams in the on deck circle. I don't know if this is to get Alfaro a better pitch.
There is bullpen action still. Fouls it back, 3-2. Nola's just trying to keep himself loose.
That's what makes you think that he's going back out.
I think he would like to. And another foul ball. Somebody thought that was hit quite hard.
I guess. Hit something hard. Did it hit the fish aquarium down there?
I think so.
That's what tells you he might not be done. Nick might just be a decoy in the on deck circle to, like I said, to get Alfaro a better pitch to hit.
Swing and a miss. Alfaro strikes out, but the Phils add 2 runs in the inning. Some pretty big insurance runs. Aaron Altair scored all the way from first on a ball down the left field line. An RBI for Maikel Franco, and it's 4-0. Phillies on top. 1:35 first pitch, and it's Hers Mother's Appreciation Day. A free ladies pullover to women 15 and older. Go to Phillies.com to order your tickets now. Bottom of the 8th inning, Phillies 4, Marlins nothing. And Aaron Nola will face Miguel Rojas. Had a curveball 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Ooh.
That's a changeup, wasn't it?
It's a changeup. Yeah, it's a good one. Nothing slows up. The arm action's really good. Just comes out with nothing on it.
Dietrich's got a bat. He may hit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Had a foul ball.
And you got Dietrich, Starlin Castro. 2 guys you have to. I mean, you got to worry about them all, but the 2 main guys off the bench, I would think, for Don Mattingly.
That's why those 2 runs are so big.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, one bloop and someone. You know, Aaron makes one mistake and they hit a home run. You got to tie a game. And it's
hot shot towards second on one hop to Cesar. And one away. This is becoming a dominating performance by Aaron Nola tonight. I mean, he is just slicing and dicing.
Yeah, it's been special to watch. That, you know, and couldn't have needed it more. 4 consecutive losses, lost 2 of the last 6. You know, if we hold on to, if the Phillies hold on to win this one, it's, you know, they've won 3 games of their last 7, and he's won 2 of them.
Look at that pitch right there. I mean, still at this point.
First pitch of the at bat too. You know, Brinson ain't looking for that one.
We've got Dietrich on deck. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. Bouncing ball, 1-2. Line drive just past Maikel Franco. Aaron throws his head to the sky. That ends 17 in a row retired by Nola. And with one out and a runner at first, here comes Dietrich. And he will pinch hit for Rivera. J.B. Shuck is in the on-deck circle. So he'll pinch hit for the pitcher. Pitcher spot if we get there. And Gabe Kapler is going to go to the bullpen. So he's going to go get Adam Morgan to come in for Aaron Nola. So 7 1/3 tonight for Aaron Nola, and he was dominant. He gave up a single just a moment ago here in the 8th inning. It was the first hit allowed since the 2nd inning. The Phils needed a stopper, and they certainly got one tonight. Here comes Adam Morgan. We'll be back after this. Done. He went 7 1/3. He allowed 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. He is responsible for the base runner at first base. And Adam Morgan is on because Derek Dietrich has been introduced as a pinch hitter. Morgan, lefties are hitting 167 against him.
Well, you're going to get Adam Morgan for Dietrich, and you're probably going to get Luis for Starlin Castro.
First pitch, a bit high. He had Dietrich flinching. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
I mean, it looked like it was right at his belt.
Yeah.
It just looked funny because it didn't have any downward bite to it.
One ball and 1 strike.
Well, so much for the Marlins Park jinx on Aaron Nola.
Yeah, really. He figured it out. Tapper foul.
I think a good fastball away. After all those breaking balls, I think you can freeze Dietrich.
Popped him up. Franco has plenty of room in foul territory. Yeah, they're 2 away. All right, so Morgan gets the lefty hitting Dietrich. Let's see what they do with Starlin Castro. And here comes Gabe Kapler. And there's the signal to the pen. So Luis Garcia will come in to face Castro with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. We'll be back right after this. For our young Phillies fans, after the activities, treat yourself to the ice cream bar, which is brought to you by Turkey Hill, open before and during every Phillies home game. For information, visit phillies.com/theyard. Luis Garcia is on the face now. J.B. Shuck. So Don Mattingly is used really his last bench players. He has Brian Holiday. I'm a little surprised that Don Mattingly didn't leave Castro up there. I mean, he's an everyday player.
Yeah, here's a lot of baffling things anymore.
First pitch fastball, and it's 0-1. I know that Garcia is a tough out, but it is still Starlin Castro. Line drive off the glove of Luis. He's got it, flips, and it's not in time. Wait a minute. I got to look at that one. That one looked like he was clearly out. Let's make sure Luis is okay.
Yeah, I think that thing hit right in the palm of his glove.
Yeah.
Which is probably stinging right now.
Yeah, he's squeezing his hand. John, did he look like he was out by a mile?
Yeah, I was watching Luis to see.
They're going to ask him to take a peek at it.
Well, we'd like to see that. He's smiling.
Well, J.B. Shuck with a base hit off the glove right now.
And hit him right on the heel of his glove, which is lucky because that's where the most padding is.
Well, he certainly isn't safe by a mile. I think he's out, but it's close.
Yeah, I don't know if you can overturn it.
That's really close. I think he's out, but well, we shall see. Unfortunately, Carlos couldn't stretch because of the way he had his foot.
Wow.
That is, I mean, it's really close. He's out. According to Jeff Kellogg, he's out. It looked like he was out by a hair. But the Phillies are winning challenges left and right. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. The fans are booing. But there, the ball's in the glove before the foot hit the bag.
Good call.
We go to the 9th inning. The Phils still on top, 4-0. teammates are kind of making him laugh after this ball off the bat of J.B. Shuck. And it originally was called safe.
Wow.
It's really close, but then the replay overturned it. Phillies are now 9 for 10 in challenges this year. Now they've been perfect during this series. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Dylan Peters, former starting pitcher, is on. As Jesmuel Valentin fouls it off, it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
How about your first big league hit?
That'd be great.
That would be nice. His parents are still here, I hope.
I didn't see Jose today. I think Mom is here, but I didn't see Jose today. But they might have come in at game time. 1-2. Out toward left field, Maben glides under it, and that's the first out here in the 9th inning. All right, so Valentin will go after hit number 1 in Washington. And now Cesar. Cesar is 1 for 3. Got it all started with a home run to start the game.
To go ahead RBI.
That's right.
Before they even hit. They don't keep that anymore, do they? Game winning RBI.
Yeah, they do. They keep it. Yeah. I don't know if it's as dominant a stat. It's an important one, though. Cesar fouls it. It's 2-1. 5,941, John, is the attendance tonight.
Wow.
It's the largest of the 3 crowds. Opposite way, and that will drop for a hit. And Cesar has 2 hits on the night. Phillies have the off day tomorrow in D.C. before they begin the 3-game series on Friday night. So Hector is warming up in the bullpen.
And your off day is going to be home?
I'm going to go home tomorrow. Spend a few hours there before I come back on Friday. You need anything while I'm back in Philadelphia?
Nope. All good. You getting Murph's red shirt that he forgot to pack?
I don't know if I'm getting that. Murph, am I getting your red shirt?
Nah, we don't need that.
0-1. John, Murph said I'm not getting his red shirt.
You know,
maybe you could get John's mint green one.
Well, you'd have to drive. You have to drive across the
state of Florida,
Alligator Alley, to get that one.
Murph, that was a good comeback.
Thank you. That is what set it all in motion.
Well, now hold on.
No, there's
not normally
not
do we
totally.
wear spring training shirts during the regular season.
That is true.
And that was a spring training shirt.
That is true.
That I think you picked out, Murph.
And we look good in them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how can we not? I mean, look at the sexiness that's up here in his booth.
Hoskins takes 2-1.
No. You're not buying that?
I'm not buying it.
Look at this,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, yeah. I had forgotten how good looking you two were.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in what?
15 minutes.
Three balls and one strike. All right, so we're not going red this weekend in
Well, apparently
Washington.
not.
That's the Nats colors anyway. We don't want to wear red out there.
Murph?
Don't point out the obvious, Tom.
We're going to wear blue. Don't they have blue too in their uniforms?
Hoskins fouls it off. It's 3-2.
Well,
I got a way to get the red, John.
yeah. I'm going to probably do nothing tomorrow.
All right.
Good at that.
Line drive out to left center field, a base hit for Hoskins. Cesar is on his way to third, and the throw goes towards second base, so first and third with one man down.
Oh.
That's got to feel good.
Well, you know, he didn't want to strike out 5 times. We know that. And you see how long he stayed on that ball?
Yeah, that ends a 1 for 19 for Hoskins.
See how deep he let? That was a breaking ball by Dylan Peters, and see how long he stayed on that ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. You know, you set your sights to right center. You stay on the ball. You know, if he throws something off speed, you still pull it.
Odubel is 0 for 3. Odubel's average at 327. Good swing at that first pitch. He fouls it back.
Might be dizzy. He just whacked himself on the head with his bat.
Not as dizzy and bruised as Ken Giles was after last night's game. Former Phil closer is not happy with his performance last night against the Yankees. And he punched himself in the face. I didn't really get it either, John.
Maybe he's upset he's still not with the Phillies. Who wants to win a world championship when you can play for the Phillies, right? They are good, though, aren't they?
The Astros?
Wow.
Well, Verlander last night, he put together an unbelievable performance.
What was the final score? Because I heard there were some issues with Verlander had with someone bunting or something.
It was 4-0. I didn't see the issues with the bunting. I did see the issues with the pine tar that was brought up by Bauer. That one's floated down the left field line. That'll be in for a base hit. Cesar will score. Odubel's on his way to second, then stops. It's an RBI single, and the Phils have increased their lead 5-0.
Amazing, isn't he?
He is amazing.
Just get jammed, flip something out the left field, and let her fall on the grass. I think he thought that ball was going foul. He hung in the batter's box for a long time. Reese read it good. He off with the swing, and he gets in scoring or on third with less than 2 outs.
Altair takes on the outside corner. Phillies are trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game series. Fly ball center field. That should get Hoskins home. Odubel's going to tag from first. Hoskins is heading home now. The throw goes to second. And it's 6-0 RBI for Altair. He's had a nice night too. So the Phillies on top 6-0.
Now that's some situational hitting. Good base running. Two guys going first to third. Now we can get Carlos to get a hit. It'd be a pretty good evening.
Carlos Santana is 0 for 4. No balls and 1 strike.
Surprised 6-0 in the ninth. They're holding Odubel on.
Outside.
Or maybe they don't think Santana can hit it that way.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
Keep him a step closer anyway.
3-1. Phillies win this one tonight. They're a game and a half out of first. The Atlanta Braves have taken over first place over the Mets and now are 18-11. Braves lead the Mets by a half game. Bouncing ball back toward the middle, and they'll get the lead runner at second base. The side is retired. 2 more runs score for the Phils. We'll move on to the bottom of the ninth inning. It's the Phillies 6 and the Marlins nothing.
For the Marlins when this one's all said and done. Phils are headed north. An off day tomorrow and then a weekend series with the Washington National. Nick Pivetta and Gio Gonzalez will go on Friday. On Saturday, Vince Velasquez and Tanner Roark will meet up. And what a pitching matchup on Sunday in Washington, D.C. Jake Arrieta and Max Scherzer head to head. Phils and Nats. But guys, this one's not over yet.
Well, I hope that Hector Neris, Smurf, can take care of it and get it over with quickly as we move on to the bottom of the ninth inning.
Yeah, I know Scherzer pitched 2 nights ago, or last night. And then I forgot there was an off day. I thought we might miss both Scherzer and Strasburg.
Got Scherzer on Sunday, Murph just said, right?
Yeah, the Nats, they know the Phils are here.
Well, the Nats have some ground to make up also.
Be a fun. Arrieta and Mad Max.
Yeah, one horse against the other.
Have you ever had an opportunity to spend any time with Max?
I've talked to him a couple
Very
times.
nice man. Very nice man.
Do you think he was going to be this dominant?
When I saw him in Arizona, he didn't have
command
or really secondary pitches.
That's
I mean,
true.
it was just gas, walk a few guys, and he'd go 4 innings. And I thought, just watching him pitch then, that he might be a closer, 1 inning guy. And man, he went to Detroit and secondary pitches started
and it's nasty now. I mean, he's another one. He's another guy. When I see him pitch, I wonder how people get hits.
1 ball and 1 strike. And off the leg of Hector Neris. And Maben will be safe at first as the ball goes off the glove of Santana.
Is that the second time Hector's been hit in the leg?
He did get hit in the calf the other day. Yeah.
In Atlanta, right? It looked like that one hit him in the back of the calf.
That was a split John that just hung up there.
Yeah, and it was a check swing by Maben too. I guess he's lucky it was a check swing. He didn't take a full swing and catch it off the barrel.
Here comes Martine Prado with a runner at first. Phillies are not holding on. Cameron Maben. Short fly ball right field. Altair. Now 1 away.
I don't know how I got all these papers in front of me, but it looks like I'm actually doing something tonight.
It's a lot of research you got going on there, Johnny.
A lot of research just went right in the garbage.
Well, there's only so much you needed to do. Just taking a dangle hat and going home. Real Muto inside 1-0. It's just not been a strike tonight. But Aaron Nola didn't need it. Bouncing ball foul, and it's 2-2. Following the ball game, Michael Barkhan, Ricky Metallico, Corey Seidman are standing by. They're going to talk about Aaron Nola playing the role as stopper tonight. He retired 17 straight at one point. It was the first time since a Phillies pitcher did that since July 25th, 2015. That was Cole Hamels, and that's coming up on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies postgame live. This could be 2 to end the ball game. There's 1 and 2, and the Phillies have salvaged the final game of this series as they win it going away 6-0. And boy, did they need a stopper tonight, and they got it in Aaron Nola, but they also got a pretty good boost offensively from Maikel Franco. Franco had a couple of doubles. Odubel extended his on base streak to 32 consecutive games. Aaron Altair showing some great